Hello dear traders, most markets in Asia have recovered today. In addition, stock exchanges in the United States have recently reversed up. The armed conflict in Ukraine and the possible long-term consequences of the heavy US and European sanctions against Russia provoked a strong reaction among investors. And judging from the behavior of the market, they got rid of geopolitical fears. Some analysts say the imposed sanctions are not as severe as markets have expected. The S&P 500 has lost 13.4% this year amid a plunge in the US equity market. Yesterday, however, the US stock exchange reversed up, and the S&P 500 recovered by about 1.5%. The reversal on Wall Street came rather unexpectedly. Clearly, investors assessed the long-term consequences of Russia's so-called military operation in Ukraine. There is no doubt that the West will respond to Russian aggression, but it remains to be seen how serious the situation will be. Uncertainty is what spooks investors the most. Therefore, they are now trying to do everything to minimize risks. So, they are turning to safe haven assets, mainly the greenback. In this light, the US dollar jumped to its two-year high and USDX settled at 97.72 yesterday. Today, the dollar index has dropped by 0.23% to 96.89 against the basket of major currencies. Nevertheless, the USDX keeps trading higher in the range between 96.50 and 97.10. Like in the United States, stock markets in Asia reversed up after the previous fall. Japan's Nikkei 225 fell 1.8% and then grew almost 2%. The index is now moving in the green zone. In Japan, oil prices jumped and the CPI increased to 1% on a yearly basis in February, up from 0.5% in January. The core CPI, that excludes food and energy, rose to minus 0.6% from minus 0.7% a month earlier. A correction in the stock market saved USD JPY from an inevitable fall. Investors are still worried that the US Fed will hike interest rates by 0.25% at almost every meeting this year. Therefore, the pair's current move is seen as a correction after a decrease on February 10th. Eventually, the USD JPY pair increased by 52 pips amid a rise in stock indexes and a 0.91% stronger greenback. However, the dollar is now incurring losses versus the Japanese yen, trading at 115.29. If the yen ascends further against the greenback, the pair may go down and trade in the price corridor between 115.12 and 115.62. The Australian Stock Exchange is soaring gains today as well. The S&P ASX 200 grew 0.1% as technology stocks showed a good performance. Australian stocks went up as soon as the scale and scope of sanctions against Russia had been unveiled. Notably, the country was not shut out of SWIFT, the world's main international payments, and no sanctions were imposed on Russian oil and gas. The AUD-USD pair was down by 70 pips yesterday and the black candlestick was formed. After a short consolidation, the price is expected to descend to the key level of 0.7065. If the pair settles below this mark, it may leave the range of 0.7147 and 0.7212 and head towards 0.6950. But today, AUD-USD is likely to move in an upward trend, having gained 0.5%. The Australian dollar now trades at 0.7206. And today marks the end of the trading week. We hope you've had a productive one. Leave your comments and our experts will answer all your questions. Have a nice weekend and see you very soon.